A quick shout out to DeAndre Perry, our newest subscriber. Welcome to the channel. Greetings, my dear viewers. It is I, Drayhon. Welcome back to another Dungeons & Dragons Character Concept. In this series, we take a look at each of the different races within Dungeons & Dragons and see what backgrounds and classes will best fit that race according to the race's lore. Today we are taking a look at Loxodon because apparently I cannot look at a stinking list that is out of order and pick the race that's supposed to be next in that alphabetical order line. Seriously, wiki page, don't organize it like that. Just have all the races in alphabetical order. Doesn't matter what category they belong to. Unless it's the Plane Shift series, and that's fine. Anyways, today we are taking a look at the elephant people, the Loxodon, which were released in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, which is where most of the lore is for this race. You don't see the Loxodon race being mentioned in any other material outside of the Magic the Gathering universe. So we're mostly going off of what the race would be like inside that universe, but that does not mean you can't have this race in another world. Some dungeon masters might even love the idea of giant lumbering elephant races just being there, looking menacing, but they're actually a peaceful race, which is actually most of the Loxodon's deal from what I have seen. They're sort of a gentle giant. Now, in Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, there are actually two key guilds that they are a part of, at least that are mentioned. The Silentia Conclave and the Orzhov, a syndicate. Those are the two that are mentioned outright, but I do see the Loxodon being in almost all of the guilds, except for Rakdos. Well, actually, Rakdos would be an idea for one character. Probably more of a slave, since the Rakdos are a circus of pain. I can see a Loxodon being in there, but against their will. That's up to you and your dungeon master to agree upon the terms of the character's backstory. Here is what I know from the lore that I've been able to find. The best backgrounds for a Loxodon, according to the lore that is presented in the Magic the Gathering franchise: Soldier, Outlander, the Uthgot tribe member, Sage, and Faction Agent. For classes, the most common Loxodon characters are going to be a Cleric, Fighter, Paladin, or a Monk. Now, that is not to say that there aren't going to be classes that this race cannot be. I can see a Bard Loxodon, simply for the fact that a lot of media depicts elephants on being able to use their trunks as trumpets. That would be hilarious to see. If you have a Loxodon Bard, find me on Twitter at Drayhon_YT and send me art of your character. I would love to see that, and I will be sure to show it on one of my videos. I might even do a compilation of the best character art that I have seen from you guys. You can also find me over on Discord at Drehon Osama of Discord. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into the Loxodon to see what subclasses we can best pair up with our characters. Starting things off with the Barbarian. Elephants are actually very territorial. Well, actually, they're more protective. They're very protective if they're young. So I can see a Barbarian being a Loxodon. But only with a few. Ancestral Guardian, Totem Warrior, even Juggernaut would be some of the best ones. Berserker and the Zealots are good choices, but not the most common. For Cleric, this one's actually going off of the Silentia Conclave and the Orzhov Syndicate. Life, light, nature, order, unity, and war. Those are the best ones that I can think of. War is mostly for a generic Loxodon, because of some of the other planes, like Tarkir. The Loxodons there are more barbaric, so I can see them having a war domain, and I can see a lot of them being barbarians. Moving on to Druid, there is only 2 Druids that I can think of that would best fit a Loxodon. The Grasslands Druid and the Shepherd, in my opinion, would be the best picks for a Loxodon. That's not to say some of the other ones would not work, but these would probably be the most common type of Druid. Moving on to Fighter. Nothing too special about the Fighter. Battlemaster, Banneret, Brute, Champion, and Knight would be the best martial archetypes. Brute and Knight are unearthed arcana, so make sure your Dungeon Master does allow unearthed arcana, because they are not official material. Kind of sad, but they are not official material. It says so in the unearthed arcana that they are not official material. Moving on to Monk. Kinsey and Open Hand would probably be the most common. And again, if your Dungeon Master allows unearthed arcana, Tranquility is another good one to pick. For Paladins, I only see 2 Paladins that would actually work. Ancients and Devotion. However, if you want to go off of the pun, An Elephant Never Forgets, I have seen a character idea of a Loxodon Vengeance Paladin. Simply for the fact that it never forgot a wrong that was made against it. Honestly, I thought that was an awesome idea, and I would love to see that in concept. See how good that actually plays out. Moving on to our last class, the Wizard. I wasn't going to consider the Wizard at all, actually. And I don't even consider the Warlock a good option, though you could argue Archfey Warlock. But Wizard is a little bit more complicated, though with the new Strixhaven, there is a couple of Loxodon characters. I've even seen some Loxodon cards of a Lorehold student. So a War Magic might work, just simply for the fact that I have seen a couple of good ideas for a Loxodon Wizard. There is actually a Loxodon Artificer card. I don't remember where the set is from, but it is an actual card, which is hilarious. But anyway, that is all I have for you today, my dear viewers. I do hope you enjoyed, and I do apologize that I still haven't gotten the races in order. Lizard Folk is going to be Thursday's video. I do hope you enjoyed. This has been Drehan, and I am offline.